And then how can people get out and help you make sure that we do get you reelected to the city council?
Well, I think you can do it several ways. I understand that everybody can't get out and walk, but everybody has the ability to call their friends and say, hey, we like what Doug Emery's doing. We need to make sure that Doug Emery is reelected. We need to understand that Doug Emery has been somebody we've known and been part of this community, an active part, and I know, and he knows an awful lot of people. We see him on the street every day shopping in the district, and we need to make sure that people understand how that separates him from his opponent.
Mm-hmm. And then, are you recruiting volunteers at this point? If anyone would like to be involved with you, or?
I don't think anybody ever turns down volunteers, but certainly if anybody wants to help, they can go to DougEmery2011.com, and there will be a place there for them to say, yes, I'd like a sign, or yes, I'd like to help. And certainly we don't turn down monetary gifts, but we understand that not everybody out there is available. It's a little different raising money this time because a year and a half ago, as a reaction to something that was written in the paper about votes being I'm not sure what the right word would be, but votes maybe there were people who voted based on money they received during the campaigns. And I made it very clear to people that I don't think that's happening, but if that was a concern, transparency for me would mean I would not take a check from any of the city unions. I would not take a check from LEBA. And so that means that you're not getting big checks, you're getting a lot of smaller checks. If I had it to do over again, I'd still say I would do that. And largely because I think at the end of the day, if I'm reelected, I believe that the votes will be exactly the same, and people will not be able to use that as some justification for why you voted a certain way.
Okay. And again, we're just meeting today with Doug Emery. He's running for City Council in District 1. He is our current City Council member, and we would love to see him reelected. You can also find your information, I believe, on the Lancaster County Democrats website, which is lancastercountydemocrats.org. And we'll have our links there to his site and to information on Doug also.
Thank you.
So, and what else would you like to see addressed with the City Council in this time around?
Well, I hope we'll continue some of the changes that we've made. When I was running 4 years ago, John Spotts, who's not running again, and I had a discussion about what we believed was a city council that was fractured. They didn't necessarily work well together, especially on TV, and it just kind of what reminded people that we were not a very functional group. He and I made a concerted effort when I was the chair 2 years ago. We said to people, we want to ratchet this down. The rhetoric is not good. Let's find ways that we can find a win-win. And certainly one of my big concerns about politics today in general is that everybody wants to either have somebody be a win and somebody lose. In the long run, I don't think that benefits everybody. And so I've made a concerted effort to try to find a position that maybe is not 100% mine or not 100% a win for what I believe in, but find some place that you can walk away with the win-win. And so I hope we'll continue that, because I think that's part of the reason that you see this influx of money. I think people look at Lincoln and say, you know, if you look up the road 50 miles, they have much bigger problems, and they have some of the similar problems that we had 4 years ago in their harmony on their council. Maybe we could go somewhere else, and maybe Lincoln is the place where we invest. We're in the same area, and yet we're investing in what I believe is a much more functional situation.
Okay, so it sounds like it's really working very well for Lincoln, for you to have this working city council that actually works together well with themselves and also works well with our mayor.
Yeah, I think if you look at what the mayor's accomplished with the assistance of the city council, I think there are far more positives than there are negatives. And when you take that this all was accomplished during the worst economic times that most of us have ever seen, I think that speaks highly to the fact that we are conscious of the taxpayer dollar. There have been no tax increases of property tax in the last 4 years. I don't think you have to take a pledge to say you won't to accomplish that. I think it's a matter of getting out and doing the right things.